In this video, we'll be taking a look at 3 college football games happening on November 18, 2025, and providing you with free team picks and total picks for each one of those games, so 6 picks in total. Welcome back to Cash Out Sports. Let's dive right into it. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe and to click the bell icon to get notified as soon as these videos get released, so that you have more time to plan out your bets as we provide these videos on a daily basis. I can guarantee that you'll have all the important information that you'll need on these 3 college football games after fully watching this video. One more thing before we start: if you would like to gain access to our best exclusive sports picks to take your journey to the next level, then check out our Patreon in the link down below, where we offer our best single picks, parlay picks, and much more. Now let's get started. Western Michigan versus Northern Illinois. We have a Mid-American Conference game in Week 13 of the college football season as Western Michigan meets Northern Illinois. The two programs arrive with very different recent form. Northern Illinois has dropped 7 of its last 9 games and sits at 2-7 in that stretch. Western Michigan has won 6 of its last 7 and stands at 6-1 over that span. The Broncos have produced stronger play on both sides of the ball. With a plus 3.4 point differential, Northern Illinois sits at minus 6.7 and carries one of the least productive offenses in the country. Western Michigan enters after a strong win over Ohio and sits at the top of the conference standings. Even though this matchup takes place on the road, the Broncos use a steady rushing attack and a defense that has allowed 13 points or fewer in 3 of their last 5 games. Northern Illinois has won 2 of its last 3, yet its most recent victory came against Massachusetts. The Huskies lack a consistent passing game and rely almost entirely on the ground. Their ground game faces a firm test, since the Broncos have held up well against the run. Macon brings size at quarterback and can move with the ball, but he attempted only 4 passes against a Massachusetts defense that has struggled all year. Western Michigan continues to generate steady yardage and ranks among the strongest defensive groups in the country. This matchup places a limited Northern Illinois offense against a defense that has controlled explosive plays and a Western Michigan offense that has been able to sustain drives. As our first pick for this matchup, the Western Michigan Broncos to win and cover the spread as favorites is our full game side pick. Both defenses limit big gains. Western Michigan allows 4.9 yards per play, which ranks 23rd. Northern Illinois allows 5.2 yards per play, which ranks 57th. Quarterback choice has not changed the Huskies' production, and their offense has shown little ability to threaten downfield. The Broncos and Huskies operate at deliberate pace, since Northern Illinois ranks 98th in seconds per play and Western Michigan ranks 106th. Both teams sit in the bottom 20 in total offense and in the bottom 15 in passing yards. Their pace and limited production shape a matchup where each offense must work for every yard. The total between these programs has trended toward the under in 4 of the last 6 meetings. The slow tempo and limited offensive output from both sides create a setting where each possession becomes a low-volume opportunity, and both defenses have shown enough stability to keep long plays in check. As our second pick for this matchup, under the projected total, is our full game total pick. Massachusetts versus Ohio. The Minutemen, at 0-10 and 0-6 in league play, travel to Peden Stadium for a Tuesday night kickoff. They search for their first win of the season, while Ohio tries to steady itself after a setback against Western Michigan. The forecast calls for chilly low 40s with a chance of rain, which adds another layer to a matchup already shaped by large statistical gaps. Massachusetts continues to falter on both sides of the line. They sit at the bottom of the nation in scoring at 10.5 points per game and near the bottom in points allowed at 37.6. Their turnover differential sits at -8, with 12 giveaways and only 4 takeaways. Ohio holds a 6-4-0 record, with 4-2-0 in league play, and brings a strong ground attack that ranks 22nd in the country at 202.7 rushing yards per game. They will face a Massachusetts run defense that ranks 128th, giving up 201.5 yards per game. Ohio's defense will load the box because Massachusetts averages 79.5 rushing yards and struggles through the air with 166.8 passing yards, which ranks 122nd. The gap in production shows up across every key category. Ohio gains more than 160 yards per game more than Massachusetts and brings a run game suited for long, steady drives. Massachusetts allows heavy yardage on the ground and often loses control of field position. Their red zone issues compound the problem, as they sit near the bottom while Ohio's defense ranks near the top. These patterns set the rhythm of many Massachusetts games, where they fall behind and rely on late drives that rarely turn the tide, but do shift the pace. Massachusetts stands at 0-10 and struggles from the opening snap to the final whistle. They score around 10 points and give up close to 40, which shapes most of their contests. They move the ball in stretches but often chase early deficits. Ohio prefers a measured plan built around its run game, often pushing past 200 rushing yards. At home, they rely on control rather than chaos. Many of their recent wins sit within one score even when they outplay opponents. That leaves space for late movement on the scoreboard. Massachusetts has shown signs of pushback in similar spots. They stayed within 7 against Buffalo as large underdogs and kept competing until the final snap. Their current staff keeps the players engaged, which can turn a one-sided profile into a closer finish against a team that sometimes leaves drives. Unfinished Ohio has struggled against large spreads in recent seasons and has failed to cover as major favorites several times. Massachusetts has not won this season and has struggled against the number, yet Ohio has its own limits when asked to win by a large margin. This creates room for a side that benefits from steady pressure rather than early collapse. As our first pick for this matchup, the Massachusetts Minutemen to cover the spread as underdogs is our full game side pick. Massachusetts games average close to 48 points. They allow most of that, but their pace helps shape total scoring. Ohio games average a bit above 50, and the mix of these profiles places the environment near the posted number. Ohio leans heavily on the run, and Massachusetts gives up more than 200 rushing yards. That mix supports extended drives, short yardage scores, and occasional long runs. When behind, Massachusetts throws often, with more than 50 attempts against Central Michigan and more than 40 against Northern Illinois. This approach produces incomplete passes, quick possessions, and chunk gains that add more drives. Even in losses, their late game pace creates open fourth quarters with extra points on the board. The contrast between a run-focused favorite and a pass-heavy chaser supports a higher scoring game without slowing the action. As our second pick for this matchup, over the projected total is our full game total pick. Akron versus Bowling Green. The Week 13 matchup in the Mid-American Conference brings Akron to Doyd L. Perry Stadium on a cold Tuesday night. The setting fits two teams that have lived through uneven seasons and now meet with familiar strengths and clear weaknesses. Akron enters after winning 2 of its past 3 games, while Bowling Green arrives after dropping 4 straight. Both teams have played through long stretches of strain, and both now rely on what has worked during recent weeks. Akron has moved the ball with purpose. Their offense has topped 30 points per game across their last 3 outings, and their passing attack has been steady and productive during that span. That shift has given them rhythm at key moments, and this game offers a chance to keep that rhythm. Bowling Green has struggled to defend the pass in recent weeks, and that creates openings that Akron has shown they can use when a defense gives up large cushions or slow rotations in coverage. Akron has found ways to exploit those windows. The matchup favors an approach built on simple reads and quick decisions. Bowling Green has not matched that pace on offense. They have averaged 15 points per game over their last 3 contests, and the passing game has lagged behind much of the country. Their ground game has been the one steady part, and they use it to stay on schedule. Akron can answer that approach by stacking the box and daring Bowling Green to test them through the air. That simplifies the Zips' defensive calls and keeps their focus on gap fits and run leverage. When the opponent cannot stretch the field, the defense can commit extra bodies to the line without fear of a deep strike. Akron's most recent game, a close overtime loss to Kent State, showed their ability to push the ball. They gained 530 total yards, with 424 of those through the air. They moved the chains 32 times and averaged 5.6 yards per play. 2 turnovers stalled some of that progress, but the offense remained effective. Their defense allowed 374 yards, including 317 passing yards, and held Kent State to 3 of 9 on third downs. Akron has scored at least 24 points in 4 straight games, and that trend shapes how they enter this week. Bowling Green has topped 21 points in 2 of their last 3 games, but they have given up 23 or more points in 7 straight contests. Their recent skid reflects that imbalance. With the uncertainty around Drew Pine's availability, their passing situation carries more questions. Akron's defense benefits from that lack of clarity. When an opponent leans on one dimension, the defense can adjust its front and narrow its responsibilities. As our first pick for this matchup, the Akron Zips to cover the spread as underdogs is our full game side pick. This game features two styles that collide in a way that shapes field position and scoring rhythm. Akron tends to extend drives through clean execution. Bowling Green can change the field when they catch a defense misaligned. Those differences lead to a mix of quick swings and long possessions. When neither team plays for postseason stakes, coaches often widen the playbook and call for fourth down tries or faster sequences. That creates more drives and more chances for each side to work with short fields. Both defenses have struggled to limit big gains. Bowling Green ranks 95th in yards allowed per play at 5.8, while Akron ranks 103rd at 6. Each unit has been vulnerable to chunk plays. Both offenses showed last week that they can score in stretches, and both have the tools to repeat that pattern. When teams move the ball in large gains and the game sees many possessions, the total tends to rise. This matchup leans toward steady movement rather than long droughts, and both sides should find room to keep drives alive as our second pick for this matchup. Over the projected total is our full game total pick. That's all for now, so if you have any other games you would like reviewed, then leave a comment down below with the game you would like analyzed. Subscribe to our channel, leave a like on this video, and we'll get to it as soon as we possibly can. We would also love to hear your opinion on the picks presented to you in this video, whether you agree or disagree with them. So leave a comment down below and do let us know.